Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. It's me Ziyamus Qureshi once again with another important lesson. That would be our episode 3, and I hope you have got a clear understanding about whatever we have done in the previous lessons. In this episode 3, we are going to discuss more important things like research methodology, what is research methodology, and what are the components of research methodology. Furthermore, we will be covering research methods and research design because in most of the cases the students and people related to this field they easily get confused about like what is the difference between research methods and research methodology and all that. So we are covering it separately. Let's talk about research methodology first. Research methodology itself contains a very clear understanding. So you may say that it tells us the philosophy. It tells us the philosophy about the research to be conducted, what motivation we have in order to conduct the research, and why we are conducting such research. For example, if there is a business researcher and he wants to do a business research regarding the usage of his resources, what we call assets, and he wants to know uh, how the best way. He wants to investigate the best way he can use his assets in order to increase the expense. So that is his motivation behind conducting this research, and that would be his research methodology. So research methodology tells us the motivation and philosophy of research, and there are some ingredients of research methodology. Uh, it tells us why the research is conducted and how the data is going to be collected, how it will be analyzed, and we can say it tells us the plan of research. So these are some of the ingredients of research methodology. Then we have a sub-part of research methodology, which is research methods. So research method, if somebody asks you what is the difference between method and research methodology, so you may say that research methods are a part of research methodology. So it tells us the techniques and methods we are going to use in order for data collection, and there are a few choices we have to make while conducting the research in terms of research methods. Either we are going to use quantitative method. Quantitative itself says the word quantify. Quantify means quantity, numbers. So if you want to collect data in the form of numbers, so that would be a quantitative method. It will be based on numeric values. And then there is another choice, qualitative data, which is normally in terms of text. Um, so it's up to you what method you are going to use. Then you have to choose either it will be experimental method or descriptive. You are going to conduct some experiment or you are going to describe anything in detail. Then you have to choose the data source, whether it should be the first hand data, fresh data, which nobody hasn't used up till yet, and uh, or it will be a secondary source. Like you may take data from some existing source which is used by others, and it's a second hand data. So it's up to you what method you are going to use while conducting your research. So research methods are techniques and methods for collecting data normally, and it's a part of research methodology. Then we have research design. It tells what kind of approach we are going to follow. So research design is a whole soul of a research. It is people get confused that research design is similar to research methodology, but it uh, tells us the whole soul of the research, like what approach we will use to accomplish the research objective, and it is based on the research question. Research design is based on research question. So, inappropriate research design, if we will choose something which is inappropriate, if we will design our research in such a way that it seems inappropriate related to our research question. So, it should match our research problem. If it will not match, so it may damage the reliability, and the reliability will be poor, you may say, and the validity will be less. Your research will not be that valid because your research design doesn't match your research question. So research design may be categorized according to the research approaches. It depends upon whether you are using quantitative approach or qualitative approach. So you may use either. Or there is another method we call mixed research approach, where we are using both quantitative approach and qualitative approach at the same time. So if you talk about quantitative approaches of research design, then we have some features regarding this approach. Quantitative approach is basically based on numbers, as I have previously told you about that. Secondly, it's concrete. It is based on facts, because this approach directs to find some single truth. It is deductive in nature, and the variables are, in most of the cases, are already defined. So, if you want to find some truth, if you want to find a single truth, so you will be using this deductive approach, and it will be based on numbers. It will be concrete. It means you cannot make any major changes in this. So it is inflexible, you can say. And this kind of approach is known as quantitative approach. So it depends upon what research you are going to conduct. So you may use this method. But if we talk about qualitative approach, if you want to be more descriptive, like if you want to be more flexible while conducting a research, you may make changes as per your research question. You may adjust yourself depending upon the research process. So you have to use inductive way, and this inductive way is known as qualitative approach. So I hope that you have understood these two approaches. So if how we will be able to conduct a quantitative research. So the quantitative research design has four types, like experimental research design, quasi-experimental research design, correlational, and descriptive. So if we talk about the qualitative research design, we have ethnography, grounded theory, phenomenological, and case study. Let's talk about quantitative research design, like how we can conduct a quantitative research using quantitative research design. If you want to conduct some experiment, like if you are going to conduct some experiment in some lab, any kind of experiment, so you have to use experimental research design. If you want to conduct quasi-experimental research, quasi means similar to or almost same. Experimental means experimental based on experiments. But the difference between experimental and quasi-experimental is that in experimental research design, we use the randomization of data. The data is collected randomly. But in quasi-experimental design, we don't have the option of randomization. All right. So I hope you may be able to differentiate between experimental and quasi-experimental. The quasi-experimental research design seems to be experimental, but it is not that exactly an experimental research design because there is no randomization. Okay, we will further discuss it in the next videos about quasi-experimental research design. So you will be able to make this concept more clear. Then we have correlational data. It tells us whether there is a relation that exists between the two variables or not. If we talk about experimental research design, so in experimental research design, there is a cause and effect research. Like this variable is going to impact the other another variable, like dependent and independent. But in correlational, it just shows the relation between the two variables. Descriptive quantitative research design uh, gives detail gives detail and in-depth research, you can say, to conduct a quantitative research. So if you want to go through any quantitative research to know something new, and definitely all the research methods lead towards to find something new, but descriptive is more, you can say, we want to uh, find something new regarding the existing phenomena. So descriptive research, correlational research, quasi-experimental research, and experimental research design, these are the four subtypes of quantitative research design. Now let's talk about the qualitative research design. How what designs are available in this category? So the first one is ethnography. Ethnic means some sort of uh, group of people or something. So if you want to conduct a research regarding some people living in a jungle, or some in some rural areas or something like this. So if you want to conduct a research, a flexible research on such topic, then this will be an ethnography. Grounded theory is to make design another theory based on the existing data. If you want to come up with a new theory based on the existing data, then this would be your grounded theory. Then there is a phenomenological. If you want to if you want to explore about any phenomena, any single anything, so that would be your phenomenological qualitative research design. And if you want to study some case, like if you want to go through some specific case of any business or anything, and you are conducting a research regarding this, that would be your qualitative research design. So I hope you have got a clear understanding regarding all these components of our today's lesson. And in the next lesson, we are going to discuss another new aspect of our business research series. And at the end, you will be able to go through the previous lesson. It will be shown here if you want to go through my previous lessons, episode 1 and 2. So, if you like it, you may like and share. And if you want to watch further series of our business research series and further videos, so you may subscribe my channel. I hope this lesson would be very beneficial for you. See you in the next lesson. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.